Hey, Kath. I would love for you to introduce yourself and MOSSA.
Well, my name, officially, the long version of my name is Cathy Spencer Browning, but all of my close friends call me Kath. And I am the VP of Training and Programming at MOSSA. And I'll talk about that a little bit later on. But MOSSA is, we are a company that is committed. Our passion project is to get people moving and to keep them moving. And we do that through creating programs for both facilities and YMCAs. And we do that by training instructors to deliver the experience at facilities. But then we also have an on-demand platform called MOSSA On Demand. So really that's what our DNA is. We wake up every day as a team thinking, how can we get people moving? How can we keep them moving? How can we make exercise and movement as palatable and enjoyable as possible? I think that's it in a nutshell.
It's a beautiful nutshell. And it's a beautiful mission and goal, because something as simple as that just opens the pathway for, especially on the mom front, when we're overwhelmed, have no time, and by not moving, really negatively impacts everything from the mojo, the feeling of being burdened with so much to do. And when we do take the time to do it, and that's one of the many, like the million things I love about your Take 10 challenge, because those 10 minutes, they're game changing.
Yeah, they can be.
Which we'll get into that in a moment. I know your role is VP of Programming and Training. If a friend asks, what do you do? How would you describe it?
It's so funny because I get asked all the time, and I probably give a slightly different answer every time I answer the question. But I think essentially what I do is head up a team that creates programs, group fitness programming for health clubs, YMCAs, and for our MOSSA On Demand platform. And I'm also largely responsible for a lot of the education, a lot of the training packages that we deliver to the facilities to help train instructors. So I would say I'm primarily oversee creating product, and then I primarily oversee creating education. So I'm a passionate educator, and I think they both go beautifully hand in hand, because through our programs, we're also educating, so we want to create, we've always said we wanted to create an educated participant, because if they're educated, then they're better at making their own choices. And so that's that whole thing in a nutshell is probably how I would explain it. And then I'm sure I'd get a follow-up question to try and dissect it a little bit more, but that's big picture. That is what I do.
Thanks. That's great. And I always say and feel, when we know better, we do better. And have from day one felt the education, it's not just component, but it's a ethos. It's in your DNA all the way through. And whether it's on demand or whether it's in the gym, in the health club, I always felt that the instructor, you know what I mean, was explaining so beautifully. And it's like so respectful, because we want to know. And even those little, you know what I mean? Those little, I don't want to say
nuggets,
the nuggets,
little
the
nuggets,
detail, the, tightening this, being conscious of, I'm touching my legs and my,
No, but it's good. Yeah.
It was like, I never hear that elsewhere. I just, maybe it's just, you guys seem like it's all the right reasons, and everything courses through your ethos, and your North Star courses through every release. And I've seen a lot. And then
you have. I could do the math real quickly, but I probably will get it wrong. But what did you, 22 years times 4?
Probably 22, and then 2 on demand.
So about 88 releases you have seen, 88 group synergy experiences. That's a lot. That's definitely, there's some miles there for sure.
I would be bragging about flying miles.
Right. When you said that, Vicki, I think when you say that you hear those nuggets, so it's really important to us. We've always said that every decision we make in all programs there's always a why that we do everything. And we've always said, we don't want to just coach what, We want to coach why, because if you explain why, it's kind of like parenting, isn't it? It's not just what was wrong, but why it was wrong. We understand that, giving the reason helps kids understand. Well, that same thing applies to just about everything. It applies with most relationships. You explain what and the why. So we have a why for doing everything. And while we don't want to bog everything down when we're delivering the experiences, we still see the value in any participant, whether it's MOSSA on demand or at a facility level, understanding why it is that we do the things that we do. And then they slowly but surely, like you would know, you become more educated. So you understand that. And so then you have greater appreciation for the product then, because you're now understanding what the rationale is for all the choices that we've made. So I think that's great.
What are you most passionate about doing?
So, oh gosh, I mean, it's probably a combination of things, but I think my favorite thing would be that someone finds what they want in an exercise program that happens to be one of ours, and then they stick with it, and then they become like lifers, I guess you could say. Like, I've got a couple of participants in my class that have been doing my workouts for 20 plus years. And so, essentially it is helping people find something that they can fall in love with and then seeing them stick with it. And that is their happy home. So I'm passionate about getting people moving. I'm passionate about keeping people moving. And of course, my favorite medium is I believe in music and I believe in groups, because I think
Mhm.
groups, or at least the feeling of a group, even if it's MOSSA on demand, you still feel like you're part of a group. I think that social motion has so much value, because then if you're not motivated to get yourself to the facility, then you've got other people that beckoning you to come. So it's the social connection that's really important. And then I believe in the magic of music, because I think music can do so many things. It can distract us. It can make the experience go fast. It's been proven to take away some of the negative sensations of exercise. So you put all those things together, you've got, exercise, you've got music, you've got groups. I think that is my passion, because I've seen the power of it over the years. I've just seen how dynamic that experience can be and how much more enjoyable it can make exercise. And I think if people just experience it for themselves, like you did with your first energy experience, and then think, oh, this could be something I could imagine myself keeping on doing, then that's my happiest thing. Like, oh, someone has found the thing,
The thing. I was so excited to ask you this question too. What do you think is the biggest challenge to get people moving, and especially busy mamas?
Busy mums. So I think it's probably a two-pronged answer. I think the first thing is that people just have trouble finding something they like. I feel like there's a lot of misinformation out there. So people think there is the perfect type of exercise. So because the industry often delivers a message that, well, this is good and this is bad and this is wrong and you should be doing this and shouldn't be doing that. So I think it almost disempowers individuals to just find something that keeps them moving. So I think that's the big thing. I think the big thing is, well, I don't know. I know I need to move. I don't like any of this. I don't like anything I've tried. I've tried this. I couldn't stick with it. And then when you have that mentality and you've started something, then time becomes an issue, because if you don't like it enough, then you don't try to find the time, and then you become time pressed. But I think being time pressed is a real issue. Busy mums, I remember when I went through it when my girls were younger, this combination of time and it not being the right thing is this really, disempowering combination. So then I just think people kind of give up, they just think, well, I just don't know what that thing is. And it's almost like they're trying to find the magic, something that'll just come across someday, or they try things and they get tired of trying things. So I think what we try to do is have enough variety that people can try a number of things, and hopefully they find a happy place in something that we do. And we've shown it to be true, like you have found group synergy, and to someone else's group synergy is group groove because they're happy to dance their way to fitness. So I think that's the big thing. And when I talk to people a lot who don't move currently, time will often come first, right? Don't you think? Like, I don't have time. But I also think time, it's not an excuse, because that's not what I mean by that at all. But I think when you haven't found the thing, you're less inclined to make the time, to force the time, to maybe prioritize it over something else.
I was
So
going to
I
say prioritize. And also, if you look at it
prioritize.
holistically, it's such a difference maker. Now I'm going to feel like it's a topping off, and the awareness of that and the consciousness of that, because as moms, we take care of everybody and everything. And more often than not, we don't take care of ourselves, and we
Oh,
don't.
yeah. Last thing on the to-do list, right? You yourself are the last thing on your to-do list. You've got this and you've got this and you've got, then all of a sudden way down on the bottom, you're there. So if you don't get to you in a day, then that's it. You don't do anything for yourself because you're so busy spinning plates with all the other things that you've got going on. Yeah, I understand.
Well, one thing I need to share, everyone's going to meet Tweety soon, and we're going to have a conversation about this. And we've had many, but asked her, because I've known Tweety, she's been a Joy of Mom, part of our family for years.
Yeah.
And I know how busy she is. And when I asked her, she left me the most beautiful message. And she goes from like 8 in the morning or 7, maybe even 6:30, you know what I mean? From getting up, and she's got 2 boys, and she owns a tap dance studio, and she teaches at school, and, teaches at night for her studio, and locks up and gets home and, cooks for the next day and laundry. And she said, "Oh my God, I'd absolutely love to do it. But Vicki, I don't have 10 minutes a day." Don't I sound like Tweety? You've probably seen some of
Great.
her.
She's great. Yeah.
So great. And she was overjoyed, and she has religiously kept it up. And at first, and I said, "Tweety, this is for moms like you, moms like me, like moms who don't think they have it. We need it more than, and it's not that we need it more than anybody, but when you don't have that time, it's like a red flag or white flag, however
Yeah.
we look at it, you know what I mean? From
Amber
yes,
flag.
help to, there's an issue here that we're not prioritizing ourselves. And it has been a game changer. And also, because she tap dances, I didn't realize she wasn't exercising. She was just dancing. So
Right.
she's overjoyed. She got your weights. She's got your step machine. She said she's doing weights every day. She said, I think she went from like couldn't do push-ups to now happy, comfortably, confidently doing 10 push-ups.
Oh, that's awesome.
Couldn't be more aligned with MOSSA's mission, from being such a MOSSA mom, if you will, for 24 years, but to be able to share it with our mom friends, and have them experience it, and just that journey of coming through it is a gift.
And in 10 days, someone could go from thinking that they're not an exerciser to, I am an exerciser. And even if they didn't want to adopt the phrase, I'm an exerciser now, even if it was just, I'm a mover now, I move my body. I move my body. My body is way more capable than I probably thought it was. So then that builds self-esteem. And I just think there's such a domino effect
Watershed effect of how it,
of everything. But once you show up for yourself, even if it's just 10 minutes, and you prove to yourself that you can move, and our bodies are designed to move, and we should be moving. And we all know, everyone knows it's better for you. We all know that you're healthier. And so I think if you just can just put a little bit of mileage behind you, and 2 days, 3 days of 10 minutes, and then slowly but surely, I just think you start believing in yourself more. And then who knows, once that happens, and then do you start to think, okay, what out of all these 10-minute workouts is my favorite? What's my favorite? What do I think I can stick with? What could I do maybe a little longer if I really wanted to, but if they didn't want to, it wouldn't matter. But I think it opens a door that says, you know what, I could do this. This is something I can do. I can see myself. I've seen myself do it. I can be this human. I can be a human that moves, that manages to find 10 minutes a day to move my body for the betterment of my kids, for the betterment of me, for the betterment of probably everyone in their life at that point, right? I'll be a better boss, I'll be a better employee, I'll be a better sister, brother, it makes a difference in every aspect of life.
And the confidence, like you said, that comes along
Oh,
with it because you're
huge.
acknowledging that we deserve it,
Yeah,
that everything is better forward, and we're consciously doing something that we know everything will be better because we feel better and because we're
exactly. Yeah,
and
it's all positive. It's all positive. Yeah.
like uh it's like see a daisy chain echo
Yeah.
positivity dot
Yeah.
dot.
Yeah. Compound interest. It builds upon
Oh,
itself.
I love that.
Yeah. Hmm.
Why the Take 10 challenge? And kind of like a two-part thing. So it's why the Take 10 challenge,
Hmm.
and it's 10 minutes really long enough?
Oh, great questions. Okay. So why the Take 10 challenge? I think what we're trying to do, and I kind of, I said a little bit of this before, but I think we are trying to get people to understand that with as little as 10 minutes a day, you can feel better in your body. You can feel better in your body and you can feel better in your brain. So, and 10 minutes to us is like it's like a flight, when you go and do a wine testers or you do beer testers and you order a flight and you get a little taste of each one and you don't have to be overcommitted. You don't have to buy the full glass of wine. You can just try a little bit. So with the Take 10 challenge, there's a lot of variety in the 10 experiences. So we would hope that people see, look how much variety there is in how you can move. And maybe one of those things out of the 10 will be super appealing. It's like, let's just say they saw groove and thought, oh my goodness, you can actually dance and improve your fitness. Well, yes, you can. Like, is this something that you could imagine doing? And so by taste testing these things, they can maybe hone in on one, and that might be a part of their future. If they just stuck with the Take 10, then that's also fine.
Mhm.
So like I said, a flight, a taste test, you don't have to commit too much. And in 10 minutes, you will not have any kind of real physical hangover. It's not going to cost you a lot. You will feel good. It's not going to be too taxing. So super beneficial, which I think is really important too, because no one wants to sort of start an exercise program and then the next 3 days feel like they're so sore that they can't do it again. You just want to feel like, okay, I'm easing my way into this. The second part of your question is 10 minutes enough? Yes. Like I would say, I could get all researchy on you, but I don't know that that's, but yes, we have proven that a 10-minute movement snack in a day does make a difference. It improves all of your sort of, I guess you all your markers of health, and importantly, just even brain health, like just being in a better mood and feeling better and getting a happy hormone kick. I mean, if that was all that you got from it, that would be beneficial. But of course, there's inherent value in just moving our bodies for 10 minutes. So when people say is 10 minutes enough, absolutely. I think if that's all you can squeeze in today and that's what you can manage and you can manage to do that consistently, you will be improving your health 100%.
That's fantastic. Thank
So
you. Either do you have a recommendation, or what is the best kind of exercise for someone to do?
the straight answer, Vicki, is the one that you will keep doing.
Mm.
It is that simple. And I would be on my little Mama Browning soapbox right now to say to everyone, instead of trying to pursue what you think is the perfect type of exercise to get a specific type of result, just hone in on the thing that you will do. And it should you should think nothing but positive feelings from it. It should be like a happy high. You enjoy it. It makes you smile. You feel connected to it. You feel great after you've done it. Because I think in this pursuit of the perfect type of exercise, people end up doing nothing because they think, well, it's like if you know that group groove is the thing that might get you out of bed earlier before the kids get up, or it is the thing you can manage to squeeze in after a really long day at work and you've put the kids to bed and you think, you know what, for 30 minutes, I can dance around and have a great time. And that is the thing that you will do, then that is the perfect type of exercise.
I love it. I've chatted with so many people over the years, just girlfriend settings or on live streams and things, and I've never heard that answer said so well.
Oh, but it's true, right? It's the one you will do.
Side out
You
completely.
know, I mean, think about it. Think about all your friends and how many people have tried this and tried that and they've done that and then it's lasted for a little bit and then they've dropped out. Well, it must mean that it's not enough. It doesn't have enough pull for them to get it costs them too much because, motivation is a finite resource, right? So you get up in the morning, you've got your cup full of motivation. And then if something is costing you 3/4 of your cup in motivation, then you won't keep doing it because it's just too costly to you, like the dread or the thought of it or I've got to do this and the sigh that comes before. So if it's too costly, that to me that's a recipe for disaster. It's when people just say, I can't keep doing this, or they come out of the gut, they come out of the blocks, out fast, and then it lasts for a couple of weeks or a month, and then they've faded off again. So we've got to sort of get to that point where it's not costing us so much of our motivation muscle, basically.
What other kind of exercise videos are in the MOSSA on demand library?
Okay, so we've got, for the Take 10 challenge, we predominantly put in some of the non-equipment based experiences so that people could sort of taste test the things with a pretty low barrier to entry. Things like our core training workout and fight, which you mentioned before, which is basically based on MMA fighting and sort of faux martial arts, I guess you could say. We have Group Groove, which is our dance-based program, which a lot of people love because you can dance your way to a healthier heart and lungs, which is fantastic. We have, obviously, your favorite, which is Group Synergy, which is a beautiful fusion of yoga and Pilates and body weight strength in perpetual motion with a lot of beauty to an amazing soundtrack or score. I think I've covered everything. And then we even have in the Take 10 challenge, we have De-Desk Your Body. So a couple of those series, which is you and I could do a whole call on that, right? De-desking your body and the importance of pushing up, right? So we'll save that depth conversation for another day. And then, of course, we have some of our equipment-based programs. So we have 2 cycling programs, one 30-minute, one 60. We have Group Power, which I know we have the option of doing that in the Take 10 challenge, which is basically our strength training workout. So we say it's like a full body strength training workout that uses a barbell and plates to do that, to achieve that. We also have 2 programs and a third coming, which uses the Viper tool, which is an amazing tool, which again, we'll save that for another conversation because I think you and I we could definitely talk about that and movement health and loaded movement training. That's a conversation for another day. So I think I've covered everything, right? I think I've covered all the lineup. We have other programs like Athlete 30 on MOSSA On Demand, and we have one that has equipment, one that doesn't have equipment. So we've got a lot of variety in there. And with all of those programs, we have 30-minute versions of them. We have 10-minute versions of them. So we also help you to understand how you could put things together. You could put a couple of 10 minutes together. If you feel like you've graduated from 10 minutes only and you're looking for a tiny bit more challenge, then you can put a couple of 10 minutes. It's like Legos, right? You could put a couple of 10 minutes together, or you could put 3, as you said you did. You can really customize the experience. You could even put a 10-minute core workout at the end of doing, say, 30 minutes of fight. You might have been standing and doing a great cardio workout and you want a little bit more core work. So you really have a lot of options to customize to what makes you happy. What
Which
are you
empower
looking for?
your people. Do you know what I mean? It's like that.
Empower. Exactly. And we don't have rules. Like we're not making, you shouldn't do this before you do that. Do what you like. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you feel good. And if people are getting great results from whatever their combination is of 3 workouts or 2 workouts or just one, then we say that's good enough. That is not even good enough. That's fantastic.
So what is the other one? I believe it was day 6 that it was like a repairing and stretching your muscles and
Mhm.
whatever it was, I loved it. You had upper body, lower body, and I did it several times. I think it's something with an R, but
That's
love
great.
it.
Yeah, so it's called the TLC series, and we coined the phrase because TLC, like looking after yourself. It's kind of it's a series that we co-created with Dr. Lauren, who's I guess you could say, our resident physical therapist. She's a doctor of physical therapy, and we work with her really closely. So she's a real support to us on all things movement, health, and doing the right thing. So we wanted to create a series because we've always said, people that work out regularly or they're sitting at a desk for really long periods of time need what Lauren would always say, you need TLC. Like, you need to look after yourself. You need to look after your hips. You need to look after your lower back. So this series was an answer to that. If you are sore or tight. And so she kind of addressed it from the perspective of most of us have these things. Not wrong with us is the wrong word, but most of us have these issues. We get tight lower backs because we sit too much. We have tight hip flexors because of the same reason. We're all kind of hunched over screens. So what can we do generally that almost everywhere, you'd be hard pressed to find someone who wouldn't need this TLC series. So
I,
created and made it super, super user friendly. We didn't want it to be too technical, but just technical enough so everyone understood what they were trying to achieve. And then again, if you regularly do the TLC series, you will feel better in your body. It's like a tune up for your car.
it felt like getting body work done or going to a combination between somebody stretching you or chiropractor or massage thing, but it was felt very like reparative. I think
It
that's why.
is.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
No, yeah, exactly. That's why you were thinking it was an R word, but it is restorative and repair and all of those words. Yeah.
thank you. A mom is thinking about taking the Take 10 challenge. If you were to leave her like a short little message on her phone or a short little text, what would you say to her to describe it and the benefit?
I would say, hi, Vicki. I just heard about this amazing thing and I thought about you right away. You always are talking to me about you want to start exercising, but you haven't quite figured out how, and you can't figure out what you want to do. And I know how busy you are. I know it's crazy with the kids at the moment, but I heard about this thing called the Take 10 challenge. All you have to do is just 10 minutes a day. You get these little videos sent to you, a link. It's super easy. You don't even have to overthink it. You don't have one single decision to make. All you have to do is click on the link and just move for 10 minutes a day. And there's a ton of variety in there. So what you might find by doing that, you may find the thing that you could keep doing. And all you have to do is for 10 days straight. No guesswork, no decisions to make, just commit to that. And I honestly think it could be your first step in finding the thing that you might love.
You nailed it.
Thanks, Vicki.
And it is that simple, it's that doable, and the rewards are that significant.
If you do it, the benefit of just feeling that accomplished, even, you've added this other thing to your busy day and you've invested in yourself. And that's worthy of celebration. To just have found the 10 minutes and to do 10 minutes worth is worthy of celebrating.
This has been such a joy and such an inaugural, like, first chat about this and the pathway to really being on this mission to get moms to move.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. I'm
with
I'm proud to be part of it along with you, Vicki, honestly. I think we can do great things. I really do. Yeah.
I thank you
Thank
so much.
you. Thank you so much.